It's time for Show Car Garage. Tips on detailing your car to bring out the beauty that will make it show-worthy. Brought to you by Autogeek.net. We are Car Care.
This week here at Show Car Garage, my guest is Eric Dunn from Lake Country Manufacturing, the largest manufacturer of foam pads in the world. Welcome,
hey,
Eric.
Mike, nice to see you again.
Hey, tell us about some foam pads. We got all kinds of foam pads on the market. What's so special about these?
Well, what these are is, this is called our CCS line. It stands for collapsed cell structure.
Now, is that the little pockets I see here?
Correct. Some people call them pockets, some people call them dimples. And what they do is, when you use this pad, the pad runs very cool, okay? Because you're actually polishing with the areas in between these dimples. So when you use your chemical on your vehicle, the chemical will have a tendency to go into these dimples, so the pad always stays, let's call it, seasoned.
Okay.
So you're polishing with the areas in between, so it stays very cool. It's very user-friendly. If you're polishing an area and let's say you need a little bit more product, you can just apply pressure to it and it'll release it from these dimples onto the surface.
Put into the buffing cycle.
Correct.
Okay, so it always kind of replenishes the product on the surface, give you smoother buffing action.
That is correct, and they're put in there with heat and pressure. They're not cut in there like other foam pads on the market. So you put pressure on this pad, it's still going to have these dimples in it.
Okay, now a common problem with foam pads is they become saturated with the product. They become wet all the way through the foam with the product. Does that help with this at all?
This actually helps because what will happen is, going back to the chemical is going to go in the dimple area. Mm-hmm. So it's not going to just like set in the center of the pad and just
sure. But the dimple keeps it from penetrating past and into the foam.
Correct.
Okay.
The CCS, the cells are collapsed, they're not closed. So what that does is it slows down the rate that the polish will get absorbed into the pad.
Okay. Now, what kind of tools can you use this with?
You could use that on, for example, a dual action polisher like a flex.
Like a flex back here or a porter cable right here?
Or a porter cable. You could use them on a rotary because there's all different designs.
I've got a rotary set up right here.
There you go. Okay. And they're just extremely user-friendly and just very, very nice to use.
You'd use these for compounding, polishing, applying a wax?
Well, actually, with all the different aggressions that we have here, you have them all the way from cutting all the way to finishing.
That's really aggressive. Let me fill this one down here. Wow, that's really that's soft. I could put makeup on pie.
Okay, yeah.
Care if I try them out?
No, go ahead.
Okay, well, since I've got a polisher set up here, this is, which pad do I got on here?
This is the gold finishing pad. This is the softest foam on the market. That pad has no mechanical ability, so it's just like a giant applicator.
Wow, that buff's really smooth.
See, it puts the control of the machine, gives it to the controller instead of having the machine pull the controller, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it was easy to take and just, look, I can run that with one hand. Very smooth. Well, that concludes this week's Show Car Garage.